Hello, my dear students. How are you? I hope you all are safe and fine at your home. Today, I am going to take you in the journey of yoga. Now, what do you know about the yoga? See, yoga is very important part of our life. And today, what we are going to learn? Today, we are going to learn lot of asanas, right? This session will be very much interesting. This session will be become, very much interacting, right? So now today what I'm going to tell you, I am going to teach you a lot of asanas. Now what are these asanas? Asanas are the simple stretching. These are some physical exercise which lead to stretching in our muscles, right? So what I am going to deliver you today, see, the very important part is to understand what is yoga. As you all guys can see, I am sitting here in this forest. It is my farmhouse where I am sitting. So let me tell you what exactly the meaning to come here and what exactly this yoga and this pranayams and a lot of things mean, right? So first thing that I would like to tell you is, see, there is, this whole universe is made up of some lot of positive energies. There is a positive as well as negative aspects of life. So there are positive energies also, there are negative energies also, right? Are you getting my point, what I'm saying? Okay, so first thing that I would like to tell you, what is yoga? Prem, pyas, tapasya, tyag, balidan, right? Jal, हवा, वायु, जिस तरीके से देखो जब आप when you come in an environment, a natural environment, and how wonderful you feel. So yoga is that kind of through the self, by the self, this kind of journey, right? So now today what we are going to learn, I will telling you the definitions of yoga. So let us come in this ocean of physical education. Let us come in the ocean of yoga, right? So very first concept is, what is yoga? So yoga is the union of Atma and Paramatma. Yoga is the union of soul with God. Yoga is the, it's a wonderful journey through the self, by the self, for yourself, right? So yoga is something which brings harmony, which brings prosperity in your life. Okay, so now let us understand what are the effects of yoga in your life. So let us first start with Padma Asana, right? See, it is, we all sit in this simple position, right? This is the simple position we all are sitting, right? Now let us first learn what is the first asana that we are going to learn. We are going to learn the first asana, and the name of the asana is Padma Asana, right? Padmasana is also called lotus pose. Which pose? Lotus pose. See how I am going to perform. First you guys stretch your this thigh region properly. Put this leg here. Okay, now what do you think, what are the points you need to keep in your mind when you perform these asanas? You put your this leg here, right? Now what you need to do, just come back and put this another leg here, right? Now see what I have done. I have pulled, so see what you need to do. This is, I have sit in Padmasana, right? When you first try it, there will be lot of, pain, there will be lot of, whole lot of things will be happen with you, right? So now, see, now what are the importance of this asana? Or what are the importance of any of the asanas, right? See, when I bring my legs from, I bring my legs here, I touch my heels to the region of the abdomen, right? So when I'm sitting in this posture, what I can feel, first thing, my spine is straight, okay? My back is straight, my spine is straight, my chest is up, my shoulder is okay, without any stress, without any sense of effort. My hands are up. You can make any mudra. Now you see which kind of mudra I'm telling. You can make this mudra, you can make this mudra, you can make this mudra, right? So in the same mudra, simple way, I am just sitting here. This is the simple lotus pose. Lotus pose is also called, Padma Asana, right? So see, this is up. Now we were going to understand what are the importance of Padmasana, right? So Padmasana is performed in sitting posture, right? It helps in strengthen your thigh region. It helps in strengthen your leg muscles. It it is very good for the people who having diabetes, right? It is good for the people who having back pain. How and why? See, so those people who having diabetes, when we keep this heel, just touch to our abdomen, so there will be internal massage of pancreas. There will be some pressure over our stomach region, right? There will be some pressure over some intestine because in the abdomen region, right? So some kind of reproductive system is also improved. This is the best, this is the best kind of asana for maintaining peace, for doing meditation, to bring harmony in the life, to bring wellness in the life, to lead a harmonious, to lead a happy life. Understood, my dear students? So this is what I am telling you about the Padmasana. Now if we talk in journal about different asanas, right? So what are the importance of asanas? Asana are very, very important part in our life. See, to improve the cardiovascular system. See, when I'm sitting in this posture and I'm inhaling, then I'm exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, again inhaling. So this inhalation and exhalation improve my respiratory system. See, I have 2 lungs as you guys have, right? So this vital capacity of this lungs is improving. Okay, now see, what are the thing? If I go and I just, do like this, my hand is straight in this same way. So what it happens? It strengthens my shoulder region. Okay, this whole my hand muscles, right? So what important thing that this muscles, this all everything, So it is very, very important that to perform yoga on the regular basis, to make yoga the integral part of your life. Understood, dear students? Now see what other importance of this asana. It is the best meditative asana. So if there is a question in board exam about what is the which asana will you perform for improving your meditation or concentration, so Padmasana is the best asana you ever perform. Now see, there are 8 limbs of yoga that I earlier discussed with you guys. So the 8 limbs of yoga is Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. Each and every elements of yoga have the particular, have some meaning, some basic concept behind that, right? So now let us just put this leg down, right? So what is the way how you will come out? So you will have to come out in this way, then the another leg, right? This hand should be, then this way, right? Okay. So what I did, I just did it nicely. Okay. Now which kind of exercise you need to do? So for that I'll be teaching you. See, so this you need to move it in clockwise, anti-clockwise, right? Clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise, anti-clockwise. Okay. So this circulation will helps you to, if there is a pain on the ankle joint. See, when we do this ankle joint, some stretch there, so it will be easily improved, right? So this is about which asana? This is about Padmasana. Now the next asana that I'm going to tell you is, the next asana is Vajrasana, right? Which asana? Vajrasana. So to perform this, let's wait for a second. So now which asana we are going to perform? We are going to perform now Vajrasana. Now how to perform this Vajrasana? First, slowly and gently keep your leg back, right? See my leg, right? Heel is out and my toe is inside. In the same way, take your another leg. Heels are outside and toes are inside. And my back is straight, right? You can see my back is straight. So what we need to understand here, your hand should be on thigh. So whenever we perform this Vajrasana, this heel should be out and toes should be touched. Why I am more emphasizing on this practical skill? Because in board exam, this is around 30 marks, right? See, this question answer as well as your practical examination will be based on this. So you must focus on that, right? So this is what the heel should be out, the toe should be touch, your hand should be on this thigh, your elbow should touch your side, your back, straight, your spine should be straight, eyes closed, either you can open it, wait for around 2 minutes, again open it. Now what we need to do, see what are the benefits of this asana, right? So let me come in front so that you can understand it properly. So first, how you come back from this asana. So first you will have to come in this way only, right? This way only. Okay, if you come from inside there will be the problem. So always take your leg from here only, right? In this way. All right, now I'm be telling you, let me sit in Vajrasana only. So I am sitting in Vajrasana. Now let's understand what is Vajrasana and whom should not perform Vajrasana. What is the importance of Vajrasana, right? Vajrasana is also called rock sitting. What is it called? Rock sitting. It is the only asana which is performed after meal. So this asana, that is Vajrasana, you can perform it after meal, right? So it is the only asana which can perform after meal. Vajrasana, that is called rock sitting. Now what is the benefits of this asana? So this asana helps it is very effective for the digestion purpose. So one should go for this. If someone has some orthopedic problem, it means problem related with his knees, he or she should not perform. All right, he or she should not perform this asana because they may having a severe tear or wear or tear of this ligament, okay, tendon, etc. So this asana it helps to improve your digestion. So if someone is facing a lot of problem with this digestion and all, what he or she should do, see, he or she should go for this asana at least for 10 minutes. In the initial time you start it for some seconds, 30 seconds, then increase your time 1 minute, 2 minutes and all. So on what you can make it around 10 minutes. Because when you do it after 10 minutes, the total benefits will be achieved. If you sit it for 2 minutes, 1 minute, around 20% or 30% of benefits can be got. But when you perform this asana for 10 minutes, the whole lot of benefits can be achieved, right? So it improves the gastric problem, it strengthens your legs, it strengthens your calf muscles, it strengthens your muscles of your thigh region, that is your hamstring and quadricep muscles, and it also helps you, to improve your postural deformity. In the same way, you can go for this Sashankasana, or you can Yoga Mudra, you can go if you want. What you need to do, you need to make fist of your hand, put it this side so that the internal massage of the pancreas and the stomach can be done, and you just go down, right? So when you go down and try to touch the floor. Slowly, gently come back, right? So this is what we can go for this asanas, right? Now let us perform the next asana. And what is this next asana is? The next asana is that is our Gomukhasana, right? Which asana? It is Gomukhasana. Okay, so now I am going to tell you how to perform this Gomukhasana and why this asana is called Gomukhasana, right? So let's quickly come back. Asanas are the slow stretching activities. What it is? It is the slow stretching activities, and it should be performed right slowly and gently. Understood? Now what we are going to perform? We are going to perform which asana? That is our Gomukhasana. So you just sit in any comfortable position. Sit in any comfortable position. It is a Sukhasana that I am sitting. Now what I need to do, just keep your all the legs comfortable, right? Okay. Now see what I'm doing. Just take your one leg here, okay, and your another leg here. Understood? This is the first step. You can practice it first you practice this, right? There will be a lot of stretch on this muscles, this thigh region and this buttock region, right? your spine will automatically stretched. Okay, first sit for some times in this asana, right? Now what is the exact time? So exactly you need to keep your one hand go, another hand you need to hold it. This is what Gomukha Asana is, right? So what is Gomukha Asana? Gomukha Asana is also called cow face, right? Because in this posture we resemble to cow. This is also called cow face pose. Which pose? Cow face pose. Now see, when I am performing this asana, what are the benefits of this asana? Let me come back and I'll be just telling you now. See, what are the what I can say, yeah, what are the benefits of this asana? First thing is Gomukha Asana is also called cow pose, right? In this is the asana in which both the legs, knees are on one another, collapse, no? And see what's the importance of this asana. This asana helps to improve your that motion of your shoulder. It rotates your shoulder a little bit. It improves your lungs capacity. It improves your digestive system, because there is a whole lot of internal massages there on that reason with your thigh. It stretches. It gives elasticity to your muscles of thigh region, your buttocks region. It helps to remove the fat of thigh and buttock region. Got it? So this is what I was performing. I was performing this Gomukha Asana. Got it? Okay. Now for which kind of deformity this asana is very, very important. So if someone has knock knee, if someone has bow legs, so they can perform this asana also, so that these deformities can be improved, right? So I hope you understand this asana, that is our Gomukha Asana. This Gomukha Asana. See, the first that I would like to tell you one thing. You can make the different importance of the asanas. How? See, if I'm performing this asana, stretch our leg muscles, hamstring muscles, calf muscles, right? And this buttock region. When I'm doing this exercise, so it improves the motion of my shoulder, right? So it improves skin tone. It make my spine straight. So those who have scoliosis, like if somebody is sitting like this is scoliosis, so this problem of scoliosis can be corrected. Getting my point? So scoliosis can be corrected. So there are a whole lot of things which can be corrected by this. Understood? Now I'm going to tell you the next asana, how to come back. Come slowly and gently back. Right? Okay, fine. Now next asana is Sukha Asana. Which asana? Next asana is Sukha Asana. Our next asana is Sukha Asana. Okay? So to perform Sukha Asana, we just need to sit in this simple position. Okay, I have just sit in this simple position, and your hands here below, just up. Your eyes should be closed. Your spine should be straight. Your shoulders should be relaxed. Which asana is this? This is Sukhasana. So those who have problem to perform Padmasana or some other asanas, they can go for the meditation in this asana. And if you also want to go some good exercise, you can sit in this posture. Relax, right? So Sukhasana is very, very simple. You just sit in this posture. Exhale, stress, tension. Inhale, freshness. Inhale, freshness. Exhale, stress, tension, anxiety. Life becomes beautiful, right? So I hope you understand this. What is this? This is our Sukhasana. Now, which kind of Sukhasana is? Sukhasana is a sitting asana. It is good. It is a very good asana for the meditation purpose. Now, what are the importance of Sukhasana? Sukhasana helps to reduce the fat of this thigh region, your buttock region. It helps to, it is good for the people who have a knock knee. It is good for the people who are having lordosis, kyphosis, scoliosis. See, what is scoliosis? In scoliosis, the spine becomes, sideward bent. So if someone tried to sit straight, the spine will be straight. The scoliosis problem will be deformed. In lordosis, what happened? The person become like this. Okay, so if he or she should perform it in such a manner like this, so the spine which is bended forward, so one should go for all forward bending exercise so that the spine could bend backward. Okay, I hope you understand this concept, right? So I hope you understand this. What you understand Padmasana, Vajrasana and Sukhasana. Right? Now we are going to perform Ustrasana. Which asana? Ustrasana. Now let's see how it should be performed. So one should just sit in this posture, right? So fine. I know you are not able to see my face, but it's okay. So I will just sit in this posture, right? Now quickly take your one hand back. In the same way, you can take another leg and just hold. Try to push this region, right? This region should push in front and hand should come in back, right? You can hold it like this. Come back. Now you sit here. This is what Ustrasana is, right? So let me explain this asana. So see, Ustrasana is a very, very important asana, as each and every asana is very important, right? So Ustrasana is also called camel pose. See students, you must have learned all the asanas, that what is the another name of this asana. Like Vajrasana is called rock sitting, Sukhasana is only called Sukhasana, right? Padmasana is called lotus pose. That asana that I have performed right now is camel pose. Okay, so Ustrasana is called camel pose. What it called? It is called camel pose. Understood? Now what are the advantage of this asana? So first let me tell you how to perform it, and then I will be telling you what are the contraindications. It means whom should not perform, right? So first thing, when an individual is first sit in the Vajrasana, then slowly and gently take your hands back and hold your heels and push yourself forward, right? So when you are performing this asana, right? Shall I perform again? I think I should perform it again so that you can understand again it properly. See, you just take your hands back and hold your heels. So when, see, you are holding your heels, there is a lot of stretch in this region, right? This region has lot of stretch. So it stretches your this thigh region, engulfing hernia and problem, lot of things can be solved. It stretches your abdomen muscles, right? What it do? It does stretch your abdomen muscle. It strengthens the muscles of your back. It strengthens the muscles of your shoulder, right? Of your shoulder, right? The next thing which is very, very important is kyphosis kind of problem. Kyphosis, scoliosis kind of problems can be corrected with this asana. Understood, the students? So this all things can be done if you perform some physical exercise that is called the asanas. Asana is the third step of yoga according to Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali, right? So this is what I am telling you about what? About our Ustrasana. Now what is the contraindication? The person who is suffering from back pain should not perform Ustrasana, otherwise there will be lot of harmful effects on his and her life, right? So I hope you understand about it. So it's cure lot of problems. See, when you go back, then you stretch your body like this, right? So the problem of arthritis, the problem of asthma, so those who have asthma, they should increase the capacity of their lungs, right? So until and unless they increase the capacity of their lungs, there will the proper diffusion of the oxygen with the blood cannot be matched, right? So one should go for this asana to prevent asthma, to prevent a lot of problems, right? Important thing to understand is it improves lot of postural deformities, it improves kyphosis, it improves diabetes. Improve in the sense it prevent diabetes, right? It helps to reduce fat of your belly region. It improves to reduce the fat of your stomach region. It helps to strengthen your back muscles, right? It helps to stretch your thigh muscles and remove the fat of the thigh regions also, right? So now what I am going to tell you, I am going to tell you another asana, that is Ardha Mastendra asana, right? So let's come. First thing that you need to do is, let's just need to take your one leg here, another leg is here, right? So what we need to do, we need to sit in this way. See, there is lot of stretch in this region. Your hand should be very closer, right? See how well go. So here what happens, it is Ardha Mastendrasana, right? So when you sit in Ardha Mastendrasana, what happens, there will be a lot of stretch near your this neck region. After the stretch of this neck region, there is a lot of stretch on the side region. So the fat which is deposited on the side region will be improved, right? Now another exercise, a simple exercise that I'm always telling my kids to do. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. It means this way, 1 2 1 2, so that all muscles of the hand can be improved, right? Even it's a good exercise for the teachers because they're continuously writing on the board, so the muscles can be managed properly. Understood, dear students? So what I'm going to tell you, the next asana that I'm going to tell you is Ardha Chakrasana, right? So first I'll tell you what is full Chakrasana and what is Ardha Chakrasana, right? So understand it properly, right? So yeah, just quickly get started. So I'm telling you full Chakrasana how to perform. I'll be telling you while performing lying. Okay, so see, I'm just ready for Chakrasana. Put your hands here. Okay, now push your body up. Your knee should be closer, your foot should be closer, my hands are here. Okay, got it? Now come up. I hope you can see me. Hold it for some time. Slowly, gently come back. Relax. How to relax? Always keep your both the legs far away and relax. After each and every asana. Now how to come back? Always take a curvet, right? From sideward you should come. So one thing that I'm going to tell you, this is what I performed. I just performed this Chakra Asana. Okay, it is so simple and it is very effective too, right? So what one should do, it's a lying asana first thing. When you lay down, after you lay down, what you need to do, after lying down, you should just uplift your body up. So see, when I'm just again going to perform and you observe it very carefully, right? How it performed, right? So you see all the things very minorly. I'm again going to perform and I'll be speaking on that time also. So you just put your 100% concentration then and then, right? See how to do. This whole knees are closer. This foot is also closer. You just go down. Hand should be, just near to the shoulder. Maintain it, right? Now uplift your body. See, it make a wheel. So it is a wheel pose. Chakrasana is also called wheel pose. It is very easy to perform. If one should have a power of persistence and if really wants to do, then definitely can perform. Let's come back. So whenever we come back, right? See, now the important thing that I'm going to tell you about this asana, what are the benefits of this asana? These asana give, improve the flexibility of the spine. So as I earlier told you, what is flexibility? Flexibility is the ability of our joint to move in maximum range. So it improves the flexibility of the spine. It helps to strengthen your lungs, expand your chest, right? Now, how will it help you? With respect to your gastric problems, it strengthens the muscle from the trunk region to the neck. See, when when you perform this, your neck is also down. So whole lot of hormonal secretion are from here, right? This thymus gland, master gland, pituitary gland, we can say. Okay, so these also the circulation of blood, oxygen capacity, vital capacity. Next thing that is your cardiac output. See, when you perform any asana, there is internal massage of your organs. So it is definitely very, very important, right? Now see what I'm doing. When I was just performing, so there was a stretch on my leg, there was a stretch on my thigh region, a stretch on my abdomen region, so it built up my abdomen region, right? There was a stretch on my whole hand, so it improved that also. So what is the importance of this? This helps in if those who have bow legs. It means bow legs is a deformity when the legs is outward. There is a wide gap between the knees. Let me perform you. So when there is a wide gap between, see this is bow leg, okay, and this is the simple leg. I have a normal leg. What is knock knee? So knock knee, this is knock knee. If someone has this kind of legs, this is knock knee. So these all kind of problems can be solved by this different kind of asanas. Understood, dear students? Now, what is the next asana we are going to perform? Let me just have a quick review so that I can tell you what exactly we are going to perform, right? So the next asana that we are going to perform is, let's come on, have you any guess? We are going to perform Bhujangasana, right? So let's see how to perform Bhujangasana. Just lay down, okay? I have laid down, right? So now Bhujangasana, first you need to lay down. Now what you need to do, please see it carefully how I am doing. While rubbing your nose on the floor, you will have to rub your nose on the floor. Keep your hands up. Touch, your elbow should not be out, your elbow should touch the back. Elbow should touch the back. Understood, dear student? Where is my elbow? My elbow is touching my back. Now I am uplifting my body up. Your region of that is your Nabhi, trunk region, Nabhi, placenta, you also call umbilical cord, which is fixed there. So this Nabhi wala jo region hai, ye touch hona chahiye. Stretch your body up, see upward, hold, come down slowly and gently. Now what you need to do, you need to keep your both the legs far away and you need to perform Makar Asana. Again explaining you what is Bhujangasana, see properly. These asana are the 5 marks question, right? Your elbow should touch your back and go upward. Slowly, gently come back. After performing this asana, your leg should be up. And this is this is Makrasana. And previous one was Bhujangasana, right? Now slowly and gently come back. So I do have a doggy with me, but it's okay. To love you, this pets who have not tongue to tell us what they are feeling. It's good to be with them. And they will not do anything. There are pets. Okay, hey you. He is moving. Okay, so what I was telling you, I was explaining you about the Bhujangasana. Again, this Bhujangasana has also a meaning, has a different word for it, right? So what is Bhujangasana is also called? Bhujangasana is also called Vajrasana. Which asana? Bhujangasana is also called Vajrasana, right? Bhujangasana is called Vajrasana. Vajrasana is called Bhujangasana. Getting my point? So it is Bhujangasana is called Cobra pose. I'm sorry for that. Bhujangasana is also called Cobra pose, right? Because this pose resembles to cobra, snack. Okay. So let's see what are the advantages of this. So it gives flexibility to your spine. It increases the capacity of taking oxygen to your body. Those who have asthma should perform this asana, right? Now next thing that I'm going to tell you about this asana, it is very, very important asana for a child who his height is not increasing. So if you see, everything is not cellular always. Things are always also related to your hormonal secretion. Each and everything is related to the hormonal secretion, right? So as in when the hormones working properly, things will be good, things will be fine, right? So one should do some kind of activity so that the hormonal secretion can be good, because then and then your different parameters of life can be achieved, right? So Bhujangasana helps, the person who have asthma, the person who have high blood pressure, one should go for this asanas. It definitely gives you a very kind of different kinds of benefits. See, when we perform this asana, there is a whole lot of stretch on this region in the pancreas in the stomach. So massage of that, as well as there is a lot of stretch on this region, right? So I hope you understand the concept of Bhujangasana, that is cobra pose. It is also called cobra pose. See student, the asanas that I told you today, out of them, any asanas could become, right? And it is the 5 marks question, right? So how the question will come? The question will come in such a way: explain Bhujangasana with its benefits and contraindications, right? It is a 5 marks question of our board exam, and it is very important for us. Definitely you guys will have to brought 100 out of 100 as usual. Every year my students do, and being my students, you will have to grasp 100 out of 100. Dear students, please listen, point this my words, what I'm saying. You will have to brought 100 out of 100. So how the question will come? It's a 5 marks question, and the question will come in this way: that what is Bhujangasana, what are the benefits of Bhujangasana, and what are the contraindication. Contraindication, it means these asanas should not be done by whom. So whom should this do this asana? So see, what's important thing it is: those who have some severe problem with the spine, those who have severe problem with the muscles, or some blood pressure related issues. So see, what people do generally, people do not have, not peoples, people generally do not have patience. What they generally did, they generally do things in hurry. They generally do things very very faster, which is not at all good. So what one should go see, like, just give me a minute, I'll be just quickly off it. Okay, so what one should do: perform all these asanas slowly and gently. I am again telling you, asanas are the slow stretching activity. These asanas should perform slowly and gently, right? In a smooth coordinated way. Understood, dear students? So this is what I taught you today about the different asana, different health related, which is for the different health related issue. So again I am in this Sukhasana. So let us come, we are going to recapitulate what are the different things in yoga. First part started with yoga. Yoga is the union of soul with God. Yoga is the union of Atma and Paramatma. Yoga is evenness of temper. Yoga is withdrawal of sense organ from the worldly object and the control. Yoga brings peace. Yoga brings harmony in your life, right? So yoga plays a very very important role in your life. It will not only build up your muscle, give shape to your body, but it also lead you to give a healthier and happier life. There are a whole lot of advantages in your body. When you see any part of body, when you perform yoga, it will be improved, definitely, short. Right? Now the important part is meditation. What is meditation? To go into deep sense of your life, to understand the worth of your life. It's called meditation. Meditation is something when you go deeper of your side, right? So to think in deep is called this meditation. Changing urge of a person called motivation, right? So yoga is very important for different health related issues. What are these health related issues? Different health related issues like diabetes, asthma, and all these things. So in the upcoming session, I'll be teaching you what are the asanas for diabetes, what are the asanas for asthma, what are the asanas for blood pressure, what are the asanas for different health related issues. So I hope you understand each and every concept, and I hope you perform this asana. Dear student, try to learn at least 10 asanas, because in your board exam, when your practical will be there, people will definitely ask you, the external will definitely ask you the asanas to perform. Otherwise, there will be a lot of problem. So with this, thank you so much.